everyone, welcome to the Matrix Oracle. My name is Audrey. I'm your host for this Astro Forecast, May 6, 2023. So, a lot has been going on, everyone knows it. This full moon / eclipse was very intense for everyone, and I decided to put a little bit more of the energies so you can get a little bit more of a feels of how you can interpret yourself, those energies, and how you're maybe impacted by those waves. So I'm going to wait a little bit for everyone to hop on. You guys, you know that I teach you about the secret geometry of the cosmos. This is how the planets dance. It's actually something you can actually look into. Planets, for example, the Earth and Mars, how it moves together, or Venus and Mars, how it moves together, Venus and the Earth, and it creates a secret geometry. So everything in this universe is about math, geometry, and how the energies are going to impact us according to this dance. So what we have here is the chart of the day for May 6th. So I try to put as much as I can here, okay, because we're going to hop on to try to explain those tensions. If you haven't felt it, there's a lot of things going on right now, especially one of my favorite, the yod. Yod is like playing pinball and having two sets of, pinballs and aiming at an apex, okay? So we have here at the base the moon, we have Pluto retrograde, and it's shooting at, let me see if I can see it better, Venus, okay? So we have this energy here that is really pointing at, look at the energy exchange. It's been in the forecast. This reality was brought to you by, yes, thank you so much for the comments. So here we have the placement of Venus in Gemini. That is the last degrees that speaks of divine justice, the equilibrium of the give and take. And at the base here, with the moon that is now shifted into Sagittarius, we're talking about being of service, but being of service in what terms? Like the exchange, making sure that the exchange of energy with Pluto retrograde is serving you, okay? And this is interesting because the distortion of this moon can speak of complexes of superiority, inferiority, people that are not, into their spiritual selves just yet, lacking meditation time. So all of this is kind of like highlighting that it is important for us at this time to meditate, to self-reflect, because the energies are shifting so much. And this is the physical reality. This is the physical matrix. This is how the energies are coming and manifested on Earth. Now, if you look at this, this is what I like to do when I want to go dive deeper into the explanation of what's going on physically, because the layer above is the emotional layer. This is the astral layer. Some of you may pay attention to your dreams. Last night, I dreamt that I was 3 versions of me. Talk about multi-dimensional layers. And it was very weird because I could see the resonance in those 2 other women. And a part of me was like, wait a second, they feel just like very like I know them, but at the same time they had like different awareness, they were working on different things, and I was like observing. And interestingly, part of my dream was that I was being scooped by the wind and I was watching them from above, and just because the wind was bringing me up, okay? So the wind would be the elemental of, the intellectual. So I was seeing this and I woke up and I was like, ooh, that was a cool dream. So this here for May 6 is actually the physical layer in blue and the emotional layer. So when I tell you that this yod energy is kind of like pinpointing, it's like the universe, it's called also the finger of God, the universe saying, you got to pay attention to your give and take. You got to pay attention that things in your life are in balance, especially at this time, because when we look here, the moon is, so a lot of your emotions, okay, are going to be physically manifesting in this Neptune placement, which is about endings. This is the last degrees of Pisces. Neptune right now is putting an end to a lot of our illusion, disillusion, and things that no longer serve us, okay? So this is not happening to punish you. It is happening for you to attune and to vibrate to the calibration of your highest destiny, especially if you work with affirmations, you work with, with a higher frequency of wanting to manifest a higher purpose, a higher life. You're going to claim things, and the universe is going to show you, well, this doesn't belong. So trust that process that's happening here. And you have one that's interesting here also with the physical Mars here that's talking about healing it through feeling it. And that is quincunx again with the Neptune this time placed in the draconic chart in a placement that's talking about your emotional field that is very attuned. So everyone that's very empathetic right now, you're going to be able to dive into those aspects of yourself and realize that, yeah, maybe things are falling apart because they're meant to fall apart, for me to realize, well, maybe I don't want that exactly. I taught this workshop, I think it was last week, and I always like to illustrate this energy and this kind of like teachings of the universe with the story of the genie. Some of you may have seen those movies or read those stories where you have this genie and poof, it tells you, yeah, you got 3 wishes, okay? And you make your wish and you get something you did not expect. Why? Because you did not cater to all the details. And that's kind of something that we learn, is that we learn to manifest and consciously co-create through learning, through making those wishes, okay? So it's kind of like, I like the example, well, I want to be at the beach and I want to be watching this beautiful ocean, and then poof, you're there. And all of a sudden you realize you're on a deserted island and you have nothing, no people to share it with. You don't even have water you can drink, but the genie said, well, aren't you at the beach? Isn't it what you asked for? So this kind of like this learning of, things that are coming to life here. So now I wanted to show you something, and I'm sorry because the world is big. So I could not put the map of the whole world. I just focused on the United States because I was feeling those energies very intensively. And right now, guess what? I'm in the middle of the States. I'm in Colorado. And if you want to see what energies are triggering you most, so for example, Pluto with all this energy of Yod here, okay? I'm smack in that line of Pluto, and I'm smack on that line of Mars. Mars that I mentioned is about feeling to heal, and here kind of like seeing some of the affinities, the people I hang out with, my entourage, and kind of seeing what needs to be healed, what needs to be released, what needs to be let go. So some of you might want to look at those maps. It's called astrocartography. I've mentioned this a couple of times, and some of you, if you want to subscribe to the channel, this is separate things that I do, and I teach for you how to look at those things, to look at through all the moon cycles, through your birth chart, through many ways. You can see how some of those energies are going to travel through the planet in different ways, and you'll know what feels, more intense and why. I woke up this morning and I was like, why am I feeling so? And this is because of this, because I'm part of a placement where I'm going to feel the quincunx. I'm going to feel one of the line of tension that's going to be, Audrey, you got to work on this. Okay. So part of the cosmic dance is understanding how you're part of those energies and not feeling like you're being punished. You're actually being taught. We're on this plane of co-creation all together to learn how to create, with higher awareness, higher consciousness. So being part of the master teachers and teachings of the universe, of the planets, and understanding how we're dancing with all of this. Because right now, this is kind of a collective thing. but you have your place. You have your place in the world, and you have your place through your chart, through many layers of your chart. And this is something also, if some of you resonate with the astro forecast that I started offering on my website, you can book some astro forecast for yourself so you can start learning how to dance with this energy. Because personally, I don't know about you, but a lot of people that I connect with, when you get your 30-minute session that is included with the subscription, you mentioned to me how you feel much better when you understand what it is happening and why it's happening. Because we don't feel as much as like victim mentality, because we understand, well, maybe I have to pay attention to this through this cycle. Okay, life is about cycle. We are part of a grander cycle, but we all have our own personal cycles. Okay, so this is the type of things that I teach. This is the type of things that I explain to you through those forecasts that I dedicate for your personal birth chart. So this is what we have for today. Okay, pay attention to your energy exchange of give and take. This is important. It's been in the works. Okay, and some of the planets are staying in this space for a while, but especially it's attuning right now for today to the higher psychic awareness through the field of the heart. Okay, so some of you will have some heart upgrades. If you have any type of flu or any type of things in the chest, you know that you're getting the congestion out of your body, so you can upgrade all those systems. Okay, everything that's going to be linked to any illnesses or discomfort through the chest is this process here, especially with any type of placement in Cancer that we have here for Mars. That's this area. Okay, so that's kind of like everything that's on your chest that's going to be liberated. And if you're resisting, if you go through fevers and things, just have this higher awareness that, you know, maybe you're holding on to something that needs to be let go. And for you to heal, it's not time. Rest is part of it, but it's not just time, it's consciousness. Most of the time when I get sick now, I literally get so many downloads, because when you're sick, you kind of have to stop. And in that space, I'm like really receiving a lot of awareness of why my body would react a certain way. And this is part of my specialty, is to bring, you know, the physical ailments. Okay, I had a lot of complications myself, a lot of accidents, and some of you come to me for healing, and the maps of your stars will help you with this. Okay, so there's a lot of knowledge through astrology. We're all going through this, and there's answers for all of this. I love it. Move it. Yes, some of you, if you have a lot of congestion, okay, this is your physical body processing those multi-layers of body. Okay, you're not your physical vessel, you're just so many layers. And as you let those energies come and manifest in the physical body, this has sometimes some blockages. So just see, you know, discomfort as a way for you to understand that you're releasing something. But this is important to know what you're releasing. So in the process of you resting and self-caring when we're sick, this is where you should receive this awareness. Well, this is what could cause this, okay? I was surprised, you guys, that my tendency to overgive to people that were around me, especially my family, to over worry for others versus myself, really manifested at the beginning of this year a complication in my lungs that I never had, because I was processing all those layers. So mentally having the awareness that I was doing this, and having then to process, why was I doing this? The emotion of what was driving all of this was tremendous. I was just like blown away. And I had to process this through my body, expelling all of this. It was very long, it was painful. And I think it was pretty much from January all the way to pretty much like April, mid-April, I started finally recovering, because I had a lot of blockages, and this is all leading to this. So this is what is amazing as far as like wanting to know the forecast. It's not just like predict what's going to happen. Is your dance, is your steps, is your participation in your ascension. What's your play? What are you being taught? How is the cosmos, moving? Some of you just looking at what house theme you have according to your age is very important. I'm in my 9th house energy. I'm stepping into 10th house energy. So some of you, I posted and I mentioned this. Okay, some of you, again, if you want to learn more, go to my subscription. I offer included to this, a 30-minute session so we can connect. I can give you a lot of awareness and we can work from there. So thank you so much. Okay, so remember, there's a lot of things going on. I try as much as I can to show parts of the world. West Coast of the United States, you're getting the point of the yard. Okay, so it's kind of showing you here. And then you have Neptune. So there's like, you have a high tension here. You have it also in the mid of the states. If you go more to the East Coast, this is more like everything that's here about gratitude, feeling loved, feeling successful. All that Mercury retrograde is more on the East Coast right now. So those energies, they move just like the clouds, just like the storms. We are all aware of all those. If we put the TV on, we can see the weather, moving through the world. This is what's happening even through astrology. So I personally am so passionate about this. This is why I love doing those forecasts. I can definitely feel this in California. So yeah. Okay, you guys, so pay attention. I try to give you as much as I can, but definitely if that's something that you want to release and maybe know what it is exactly, how your chart is playing out in this lesson, in this pattern, this is how you release, this is how you just change timelines. This is like quantum shift to the max, okay? So thank you so very much for joining me today. I'm sending you much love and light, and I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.